Hello and welcome to another weekly vlog. I have a somewhat exciting week ahead of me. Not so much exciting as it is just busy. So first of all, we're moving soon if you didn't know. As we can see over here, my bedroom is currently absolute chaos. I've got bags packed. Hi Tony. I'm starting to get like my shelves taking off and kind of clearing out everything, but things are a mess at the moment and I hate that. I don't like mess. I don't like living in mess. So hopefully things will go fairly smoothly for the rest of the time and I can get things packed and unpacked fairly quickly once we move. We're going to be moving in the first week of April over Easter weekend and I'm so excited. I can't wait to move. I'm looking forward to it, even though right now things are chaos and I'm stressed. I'm still looking forward to it. So aside from that general chaos, I also have a busy week just in terms of like things to do. So today actually I already went to my doctor's who lives in a different city. I had to travel like an hour and a half or so to get there, but I met with my doctor today to talk about top surgery options. So I'm getting myself put on the wait list for that very soon. I have to choose which surgeon I want, and then once I do that, I'll be put onto the wait list from there. And I have no idea how long I'll be on the wait list for, but hopefully not too long. We'll see how it goes, but I'm thinking it'll probably be sometime next year, hopefully early next year. I really don't want to get top surgery in the middle of summer when it's hot and sticky out, so fingers crossed it'll be kind of in like late winter, early spring kind of thing. But yeah, I did that today, and then tomorrow and Wednesday I'm doing first aid training for my work. I'm getting CPR certified, all that fun stuff. It's going to be a very long couple of days. I have to be at the place at 8:30 in the morning both days, and it's a full 8 hours. It's 8:30 to 4:30 both days, so wish me luck. I'm gonna be tired, but it's fine. And then I work Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then on Sunday my friend and I are going to a book fair. I'm not sure if this is just a Canadian thing, but when we were in grade school there used to be the Scholastic Book Fair, and our favorite indie bookstore is holding an adult version of those just for pure nostalgia's sake, and I can't wait to go to it. There'll be books and goodies and a whole bunch of things for sale, and I am all for both the nostalgia as well as supporting a local indie bookstore and of course hanging out with a friend. So I can't wait to go to that on Sunday. Otherwise, current reads, I've got a few things on the go right now. First up is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I'm rereading this one because the movie comes out, I think, is that next week or this week? Is it this week? It might be this week. And if it is this week, then I will also be going to see a movie this week. But I'm reading this one for an episode of Page to Screen, so I will leave my thoughts for that vlog. But just to at least mention that I am currently reading it. And then on my Kindle, my phone was dying on the bus down to my doctor's today, so I didn't want to use it too much. So I grabbed my Kindle and I started reading The Long Game by Rachel Reid, which is the 6th book in the Game Changers Heated Rivalry series, and the book that I've been so desperate to get to because it brings us back to Shane and Ilya, who are the main characters in book 2, as well as the main characters of the TV show, which I'm obsessed with. But I'm already having the best of times, and I can't wait to see where this goes. I have been desperate to get to this book, but I forced myself to read the series in order and not just skip right from book 2 to book 6, and I think the payoff has totally been worth it because Shane and Ilya make little cameos throughout the rest of the books that really built up their relationship and the true scope of how long they've been together. So I am glad that I waited, but I am so glad to finally be onto this book. And then finally for right now, I am reading Saints of Storm and Sorrow by Gabriella Buba. I have Storygraph open on my computer, by the way, that's why I keep looking over here. But this one says it's a fiercely imaginative Filipino-inspired fantasy debut where a bisexual nun hiding a goddess-given gift is unwillingly transformed into a lightning rod for her people's struggle against colonization, which sounds cool as fuck. It is such a cool concept, but unfortunately I'm finding the actual book to be a little bit lackluster, at least so far. I'm roughly 20% of the way through and not really having a good time. I don't love any of the characters yet, and the magic seems cool, but like not that well explored, at least so far. I'm not that far into it yet, so I can't say too much about it. But I think my main issue is that this is not a YA book, but I think the main character is in like her mid-20s or so, but it reads extremely YA in a way that I don't like. So I'm not too sure if I'm going to continue this one or not. It might end up being a DNF, but I am going to give it at least one more chapter and see how I feel about it from there. But that should do it for right now, so I will keep plugging away at the books that I'm in the middle of and let you know once I have some thoughts. weekly vlog. It's already Sunday. I know. I don't know how the week has gone by so fast. I don't think I've updated at all since I introed on like Monday. Did I? I don't think I did. I'm working on a couple of vlogs right now and I don't know which clips were for what. So I may have updated, but I feel like I did not for this one. I meant to, and I just didn't. Oopsies. But I've had such a busy, chaotic week. It's been a great week, but I've also been stressed out and tired. But it was all for good reasons at least. So Monday I had my doctor's appointment where I went for a consultation for top surgery. And then on Tuesday and Wednesday, my boss asked me if I wanted to be the first aid person at my work, and I agreed. So I went and got first aid and CPR certified. So that was very cool. My knees are still bruised from having to kneel on the ground doing CPR on a mannequin for hours. But that was really cool. It was also exhausting. It was so much information. I learned so much. It was awesome. The instructor was really fun. He was this older man from Newfoundland, so he had that classic Newfie accent, and it was wonderful. He was hysterical. It was 2 full days. I had to be there at 8:30 in the morning, and I am a morning person. I love being awake early in the morning, but I like having a nice, quiet, slow morning. I love to wake up at 7 a.m. and just sit on the couch and be cozy with my coffee and my tea. Hi, Tony. Oh my goodness. I do not like having to leave the house and be somewhere for 8:30 in the morning, but it was fun. It was great. And then aside from that, I've been doing lots of packing. I'm sure you can see behind me all of the boxes over there. And then yesterday, right after work, I went and saw Project Hail Mary in theaters, and it was wonderful. I'm going to save my thoughts for an episode of Page to Screen that I'm filming where I reread the book and watched the movie, but that should be the next video that you see coming out on Saturday. And that's been my week in non-reading things. Reading-wise, I have actually not done a whole lot of reading just because I've been so busy, but I have read a couple of things. So as mentioned, I reread Project Hail Mary this week. Loved it, of course, gave it 5 stars again. I love this book so much, but again, more thoughts in my Page to Screen episode coming to you shortly. I listened to the audiobook for Chicano Frankenstein by Daniel Olivas, which is a contemporary, sci-fi twist book. It's set in our world, but they have figured out how to, reanimate bodies and, piece body parts together to bring people back to life, or not bring them back to life, but to create a whole new person. And the book follows our main character, who is one of these Frankenstein people, and it's just kind of following a little part of his life as he's meeting a woman and starting to date her and that kind of thing. And in the background is a political campaign going on that was very much satire of the current state of the US. So I did like this book. I gave it a 3.5 star. I did find the plot with the main character to be a little bit boring. It was just very mundane, slice of life kind of things. It wasn't the most interesting thing that could have gone on, and the messaging with the politics was super heavy-handed. I get that it was more satirical, but it was still there was no subtlety at all. It was just thrown right in your face. There was no room for kind of thinking for yourself, basically, which is fine. It was still an interesting read. It still had really good things to say. I just would have liked it if it was a little bit more subtle in that way, or not subtle, it just wasn't so obvious of what it was trying to say. I felt like it was just hand-holding me throughout the whole book, but it was still a good time. 3.5 stars. Had a good time with it, and I would definitely read more from this author in the future. And then my current reads, I have started The Ballad of Jaquotte Delahaye by Briony, which is a dazzling tale based on true events, illuminating a woman of color's rise to power as one of the few purported female pirate captains to sail the Caribbean, and the forbidden love story that will shape the course of history. I love pirates. I love stories about queer women. This mixes those two things together, so it's a good time so far. I am about 20% of the way through it so far and having a good time. I want to dedicate more time to this book because it's really interesting and I'm quite enjoying the plot. I've just been so busy. I've barely had any audiobook time this week and I'm sad about it. But I'll be carrying this one into next week. And then finally, I was reading it on my Kindle, but last night while I was wandering around HomeSense waiting for my bus, they had The Long Game by Rachel Reid for $17. So I got it. I couldn't resist. I'd gotten about 30-ish% of the way through on my Kindle and then just switched to the physical book, and I'm so happy about it. I read a bunch last night. I am on page 193 or chapter 17 right now. I love this so much. This is so good. It's the 6th book in the Game Changers Heated Rivalry series that I've been obsessed with for months because of the TV show, but I've also now read all the books. This is the last one that's released so far. We're not getting the next book until 2027, and I'm devastated about that, but it's okay. I am living for this. It's so good. I love the relationship. I love that we're getting more of Ilya's point of view and his feelings. He is dealing with some mental health issues in this one, and it's being handled so beautifully, and I'm just having the best of times with this book, and I can't wait to continue it. But yeah, those are all of the reading updates for right now. Today, my friend and I are going to a little book fair. I'm so excited about it. It's going to be a wonderful little bookish time. So that is happening actually very soon. I need to finish getting ready, but I wanted to update here first. My friend's going to be here in like 15 minutes, and I haven't even had breakfast yet, so my bad. I'm going to stop rambling, go get ready, and we will chat later on. I'll pop back in later on to tell you how the event went and to wrap up the vlog. The weekly vlog. Don't really have a whole lot of reading updates since yesterday with the long game, this lovely thing right here, including a bit of what I read today. I'm at page 296. I forgot where I left off. That was a smutty scene that I was in the middle of reading on the bus, so when I put that down, that was a shock to open up to just now. But that's where I'm at right now with this one. My final thoughts on it will be in next week's vlog, but of course I'm loving this, obviously. And then with the Ballad of Jaquotte Delahaye, I got to 48% last night, and I'm still having a great time with that one. I obviously didn't read a whole lot yesterday because I was out for the majority of the day. We had a lovely time at the book fair. There was so much nostalgic stuff. All of the music being played was all like early 2000s throwbacks. It was lots of Backstreet Boys and Britney Spears and Avril Lavigne and just all the bands that I loved and adored as a kid. It was awesome. The books, there were Goosebumps and Animorphs and all of our favorite childhood books, as well as a whole bunch of like modern books. And then the vendors were also wonderful too. There were so many good ones. I'll show you guys what I got. I'm very proud of myself. I actually didn't go crazy at the book fair. I think I only spent around $25 at the book fair, but my friend and I went wandering around the town afterwards and I spent a lot more money, but that is besides the point. So from this one vendor, I got some really cute stickers. So I got Are You Afraid of the Dark sticker, which was one of my favorite shows as a kid. My love of horror began very, very young. I also got Land Before Time sticker. How adorable is this? I am obsessed. This was one of my favorite movie series as a kid. And then finally I got Mentally I'm at the Scholastic Book Fair, which is just too cute. And then I also got 2 bookmarks as well. I got The Little Mermaid, which is very glary with my light on there, but whatever, The Little Mermaid. And I also got Thumbelina. I was so hyped to see this there. I loved this movie as a kid. It was one of my all-time favorites. And these are actually upcycled. So she makes them out of VHS tapes. She took out the spine of the VHS tapes and made them into bookmarks, which is just so wonderful. I love recycling, obviously. And then because I was one of her first customers, she also gave me this free notebook with like Arthur, and I don't even know what all these are. I think that's from the Big Comfy Couch. What's this one called? Hey, It's Franklin, I think. And oh, Lizzie McGuire, that's that one is. Oh my god, I'm forgetting who all these characters are right now. This is crazy. But this is also recycled as well. This is just like old notebooks that she cut up and put into this little pad, which is adorable, and I love that. So that's what I got from her. And then from a different vendor, I got a Positive Pickle. How adorable is this? There's the tag on there which says, whenever you feel sour, I'll help you deal with it. Remember, the door to happiness is always ajar, so relish every moment because in the end, everything will be just brine. I love pickles so much, and also I love puns, and this is just too cute. And it was only $10. Like this is homemade, crocheted, and it should have been a lot more than that, but I wasn't going to complain about $10, so I grabbed that, of course. And there was somebody selling stationery, and I got this really cute little mushroom pen with a smiley face on it. It's so cute. And then finally, from the book fair, I got one more thing that's going to be a little hard to show. I don't know how much space I need, but I got this beautiful, beautiful poster that has a whole bunch of birds on it. There's the top of it up there, and all the bird labels are all in French. I love birds so much, and I saw this and it was just too beautiful. I had to get it. It'll obviously be staying rolled up until after I move. I'll be very much looking forward to when I can put this up on the wall. Oh, and here's the business card with the information for the nostalgic person with all the stickers. This person, if you want to check out her Instagram. But yeah, that's everything that I got from the book fair. And then afterwards, my friend and I went wandering around. The book fair was in this town called Collingwood, which is relatively close to us. It's a really cute little place with a whole bunch of locally owned small businesses. So we went wandering around the downtown area. The first place that we stopped in was this beautiful crystal store. They had a shop cat, and he was so cute and so sweet. But while we were there, I got myself this beautiful bracelet, and I also got a very similar one for my roommate whose birthday is coming up soon. And then I also got myself a little fairy stone as well. It's so soft and smooth. There's some information about fairy stones if you want to pause and read. And then we went into the Blue Mountain Tea Company, and I got myself this yerba tea, which I don't think I've had yerba before, but sounds good to me. It's high caffeine, so I obviously need that. And I also got myself a jar of honey that is local to the area as well. This jar was only $11, which is unheard of for honey. Normally a jar this big would be like at least 20. Oh, I also got this Witch's Brew mug for my friend, again for her birthday that's coming up soon. Finally, the last place that we stopped in was this little gift store with like handmade trinkets and crafting supplies and stickers and that kind of thing. And I got, again for my roommate whose birthday is soon, I got her some bath bomb crumble in mermaid color. Our new apartment that we're moving into, we're both gonna have our own bathrooms, and hers has a full bathtub in it, and she was saying that she's so excited to take baths, so I thought she might like some bath bomb stuff. And then actually the final thing I forgot, we also stopped into HomeSense just to kind of browse around together and do some like house shopping, and I finally picked out a new blanket. I've been looking for a new blanket forever. I've been wanting to get a nice dark green, and I finally got one. Also, hello from Tony over there. This is probably not the best lighting to show you, but it looks a lot darker in person. But yeah, nice dark green bedspread with matching pillowcases. In the new house, I want to kind of change the color scheme of my room. I've had it be like a light mint green and pink forever, and I want to go for kind of a dark green with dark wood and like a woodsy cottagecore feel to it. I'm not going to change my bookshelves and like my nightstands and that kind of thing because that is just way too much money just for aesthetic reasons, but I do want to accent with some dark wood and kind of put like vines and plants all over the place and that kind of thing. But yeah, I think that's all the stuff that we did. We had so many treats and so many snacks. It was lovely. There was a bakery at the book fair as well, and we got a bunch of snacks. They were selling homemade Pop-Tarts, which were delicious, and then we each got a cookie that we split in half so we could both try one. So we got a white chocolate raspberry cookie and a chocolate strawberry one, and they were both incredible. So that was a great time. And yeah, it was a lovely day. We had a blast. It was so much fun. I can't wait until they do the next one. I hope they make this a pretty regular thing, and I hope that they get bigger and bigger. I love supporting indie bookstores and all these little vendors that were coming out. It was definitely something that I would love to do more of, and fingers crossed that they had a successful first book fair and they'll do more in the future. But yeah, that should be it from me. So I'm gonna end the vlog here. Thanks as always for coming along, and I'll see you in the next one.